watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Kathy Duva, man. Right after Ward beat Alexander Brand, she put together a press conference, and it was only like, a couple days after the Ward Brand fight, and basically, you already know the story. Sergey Kovalev, he was there. Kathy Duva was telling the public she didn't know why Andre Ward didn't show up. She didn't know where he was. The media was asking her, is there going to be a fight? She was like, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a fight. If Ward wants it to be a fight, then she even said, she took a couple jabs at Rock Nation. She said, it's been a nightmare to work with them. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the day, then she admits she knew Andre Ward wasn't going to show up all along. So, did she mislead the public? Do you think she owes anyone an apology for saying something like that? Was that a reckless move or what?
I don't know. I don't know Kathy Duva well. This is not me saying it, but it's talked about in boxing. The tickleness of it, of Kathy Duva. But I don't know her like that. And to be honest about it, I don't know. I didn't know anything about the press conference. And 2 days after you fight, to go down into a fight that's already going to take place, it really is not that big of a thing. But, things have a way of working themselves out. You know what I'm saying, Deontay? You can, where we come from and how we think and believe, it has a way of working itself out. You judge a tree by the fruit it bears,
Mm-hmm.
And it has a way of turning out, and it's like I was taught a long time ago. A lie has wings and the truth has feet, and that's why a lie can fly all over town and the nation and get there first. But the truth moves slowly, but when it gets there, it'll stand on its own. So, we kind of stay right in that zone, We might move slow, but when we get there, we're going to stand. So that's kind of how we look at it.
Nice analogy. And I just trip off of the similarities. And I don't know if I talked to you about it, but of course the similarities when it came to Floyd Mayweather. Even though Mayweather was pushing for the Manny Pacquiao fight, we seen him at the basketball game. He's getting Manny Pacquiao's phone number. Then after that, he goes to Mayweather's or Manny Pacquiao's hotel room, and he's still negotiating the fight. And yet, people still were saying that Mayweather, he was afraid. He didn't want the fight. When Terrence Crawford was negotiating with Victor Postal, for whatever reason, fans kept saying that Terrence Crawford, he was afraid. He didn't want the fight. To me, this goes all the way back to the Jack Johnson era where they talked about, certain fighters having a yellow streak down their back.
Yeah, that's true. The African-American style in boxing is a style that throughout the history of boxing has been successful. You do have your differences and things in terms of sluggers and punches, but, the majority of African-American boxers bring a certain flavor to the ring. And it's no different than other sports, in any other sport. If you look at the running back who don't want you to put his hands on you, but he's going to score that touchdown and hit those holes and juke and dodge you. It's just because, there's an ability that you possess, but that exists in the world in other races. If you look at Lomachenko, if you look at some of the other guys like Salvador Sanchez, who was one of my favorites, they bring some of that flavor naturally to the ring also. But speaking in the majority, it's usually us. But, I think if you stop and think about boxing, two of the biggest laws in boxing that were broke had to do with African American fighters. One with Jack Johnson in the state line situation. One with Muhammad Ali. You going into the army, I don't care if you fought the test. So, if you look at basketball, all the rules changed because of the dominance of the African American player. They changed the lane because of Wilt Chamberlain. They say you can't dunk in college basketball no more because Lou Alcindor was dominating everybody. So in other words, we don't want you to dominate us. We're going to change the rules. We're going to change. And so in boxing is we don't have to fight you, Demetrius. We don't have to fight you, Julian. It's a business. It's a business.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
But then you turn around and say, give the fans what they want. But it's a business.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what they say, you see.
Yeah.
But when we take that same approach, you know, there's a little something more to it. Because, you know, we've had to fight who we're told to fight, plain and simple.
Yeah.
And that's not, you can't put it all on the networks. You can't put it all on the media. I mean, you know, like I said, we have Hispanic fans who are the most adoring fans in boxing. Next to him, the UK fans. Plain and simple. That's where you got to look.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's where you got to look. And there's no sense in sugarcoating it. You know, African Americans do not support their fighters. Plain and simple.
Yeah. And you got to remember the Black Murderers Road. That's exactly what they were about as well, too. That group of fighters back in the 30s, the 40s, Sugar Ray Robinson, Henry Armstrong, they didn't want to fight these guys. The Jake LaMottas, they all avoided them, so they all had to keep fighting each other over and over and over again, and they never even got a shot at the title because they were that dangerous. And, you know, you almost have a modern-day Black Murderers Road today in the sport of boxing, you know. And I think when it comes to a lot of the black fans that don't support the sport is because so many of them are so much into football and basketball, they're not dedicated, I don't think, to boxing like they are football, basketball, and other sports. But that's just...
I agree.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
I agree, because we're dominant in every sport. You know, just 20 years ago, you never even heard of a black gymnast, a black swimmer. Now we're showing you that, hey, we got it in every sport. You know, that song a long time ago, Dyke and the Blazers, we got more soul. You know, play it if you never heard it. Dyke and the Blazers, we got more soul. Play that song. You'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, you know, but you still have to function within the times. You know, we chose the profession, so we have to go along with the intricacies of the profession. And hopefully, you know, the one big spark of it is that, you know, Floyd made astronomical amount of money. Tyson made money. Holyfield made money. So, you know, it's a profession, you know, and I think we're programmed from the career to know that we got to be twice as good just to get some recognition, let alone adulation, but recognition. So it's no dwelling on it and just taking one fight at a time, you know, accept your place in history, and let's move on. And maybe in my lifetime or the next lifetime, things will be a little different. But I can't get mad at Canelo. I can't get mad at Golovkin and everything. People have a right to choose who they're going to choose and support. And the network, they can pump up who they want to pump up. And I said a long time ago, when Andre first turned pro, I said he would never be a superstar. I said he could just beat superstars. That's all.
Yeah, but most of the time,
I said that from day one.
And I guess that was partially. I mean, I know you keep beating superstars. Usually, that's how you become a star yourself. That's how Mayweather became a star. But like I think even Andre Ward said that, you know, we don't all have an Oscar De La Hoya to beat or, you know, someone like that. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.